Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG Build Guide Edition. Today I am ready to drop on you my most requested build for 0.8, my only minions build. Everyone wanted to see if I was able to create a build with only minions, and we have done it, and we have cleared some of the hardest content in the game. As always, we will go through gameplay, we will check out skills, passives, gear, and of course break down the character sheet. Let's not waste any time and jump right into this. Now we're going to go a little out of order and start at the training dummy because I want to showcase what kind of damage you can get out of this. When you are looking at just standard skeleton, one singular minion, you'll see that crits 7,000, 8,000. They can crit if you get a good hit over 10. You're probably thinking, Aaron, that's not very good damage. Well, don't worry, because you get 5 of them. Now you put those 5 skeletons together, and they're pretty tough. Oh, you see that? 10,000. Now damage is much higher, okay? But that's just one singular minion. You also get wraiths. When you look at your wraiths, they're going to hit much faster. They no longer lose their life, and they can crit for over 30,000 damage. Now, instead of having 100 of them like you used to have, unfortunately now you only get 2, but they also hit in a melee range around them, so they're going to hit everyone in front of them with that damage number. Obviously a lot stronger than skeletons, but you only get 2. On top of that, we have skeleton mages, and for skeleton mages we are using death knights. Death knights, just like wraiths, hit everything in front of them. They hit very, very fast, and they almost always crit. Okay? Now, they do the least amount of damage compared to your minions, but again, they swing fast, and they guaranteed crit, and they hit everything around you. So on here, you get 5 Death Knights. Look at that. Pretty good, right? Okay. Now, Golem, we'll talk about Golem more when we break down skills. Last but not least, we have Summon Zombie. Summon Zombie does a lot of stuff for you, but what I want to showcase right now is it gives you 3 Vanguards. And Vanguards, believe it or not, 4,000 damage, 3,000 damage, 4,000 damage, 4,000 damage. It is not too bad. Again, added melee minions. And when you put all that together, you now got your 5 skeletons. You now got your 2 wraiths. You now have your 5 Death Knights. And then you say, go attack that training dummy. We were tearing up everything with this build on stream last night. I created this build from my Twitch with the community. Awesome build. Let's look at some gameplay. And we're off. Now, for this build, the only thing you are going to be making is zombies. Literally, the entire idea of it is it's a lazy build. That is what people wanted. That is what they requested. Aaron, make me a lazy build where my minions do all the work. This is what we made. Now, normally lazy builds aren't that fast. I actually don't think this build is super slow, and it's great for leveling because your minions will literally kill everything on the screen. Also, what we were trying to tackle was survivability, and that's why we ended up adding in Summon Zombie. Gives you a kill threshold and gives you a huge boost to your board. These new enemies look good. And again, last night we killed Gaspar at stability 900, 150 corruption, and powered timeline 100. We literally slaughtered him. This exact build, same skills, same gear. So on my Twitch, first link in the description below if you want to go see that. Locust. You might be noticing something, why these enemies are running away. Our zombies has a 1 second fear. It works really, really well, especially because I'm normally leading my pack. But when I run into a bunch of enemies, you throw up a zombie, keeps me alive because they run away. It also helps spread out the enemies, which then spreads out your minions. You don't want them all clumped together. It's crazy. It's so lazy. Most requested build from me. That. Just in case anybody is paying attention, not a single minion has died. None. Not even a skeleton. What do we got? Oh, yeah. Let's do it. Still got all our minions. We still have our vanguards. Lost 2 skeletons. That is all she wrote. And where this build excels is single target. You're probably thinking, oh, bosses aren't good. No. It's its best when it fights bosses. Let me show you how to recreate this build. So now let's check out the skills, starting with Summon Wraith. And again, we don't want our Wraiths to die because that wouldn't be a lazy build. You want 1 into Resurrection, 2 into Haunting, 1 into Twin Spirits, 3 into Sequel, 3 into Dark, 5 into Reapers, 3 into Necrotic Hunger, 2 into Grave Reality. And on here, your Wraiths are going to scale with Physical and Necrotic. That is why you're taking Reapers. That's why you're taking Necrotic Hunger. And what keeps them from dying is right here, Twin Spirits. Now, the way 11th Hour Games, in my opinion, created non-decaying Wraiths is 4 melee, because the node right after gives you a boost to melee area. So obviously, if you're using that is you're not going to get a benefit from that if you are casting a spell Wraith. That is what I would do. Works very well. You saw it at the training dummy. Summon Skeletal Mage. You want 1 into Splinter Dominion, 2 into Speed, 3 into Frenzy. Come straight down, 5 into Cellar Mortis, 3 into Grey Merchant, 1 into Order of Death, 2 into Leech Life, 1 into Death Knights, and 2 into Flaming Attacks. I just put Flaming Attacks on there because you will get a boost to melee fire. The fire's not going to give you a boost, but the melee will. I just put that on there for a little added damage. There was nothing else that really made sense since your Death Knights really don't die. But what they will do is they'll frenzy themselves, which is great for damage. Moving on to Bone Golem, which we haven't talked about at the training dummy and not during gameplay. You want 5 into AOP, 5 into Hunger, 4 into Tower of Bones, 2 into AOS, 4 into Unnatural Speed, and that is it. Now, what Summon Bone Golem is going to do is, 1, it's going to give nearby minions 16% move speed. And obviously, all your melee minions are going to be right next to your Bone Golem, so everything's going to move faster. You don't want them always trailing behind, you want them to have more speed. What this is also going to do is grant nearby minions plus 400 armor. It is also going to give you 65 health every time it hits, and it is going to generate 60% threat to make sure that all the enemies attack the Bone Golem, so it soaks up all that damage for you. Quintessential skill for your minions and your survivability. Summon Volatile Zombie. Now, this was the last skill that we added to this build, and I will tell you why. It's because we were trying to figure out how to stay alive, and we decided on Summon Volatile Zombie. You want 1 into Path of Destruction, 2 into Necromantic Fever, 1 into Vital Ward, then you want to come up, 5 into Forceful Commander, 1 into Daunting Blast, 2 into Ravenous, 2 into Pull of the Grave, 1 into Horrific Vessels, 2 into Fever, 1 into Horde, and 1 into Shepherd of Thralls. Shepherd of Thralls, this is where you get your 3 Vanguards. Vital Ward, this is where you get your life remaining from your zombie as ward, keeps you alive. On top of that, your zombie's going to do 60% more damage against rares and bosses, and even better, what just puts the cherry on top of this skill is now you have a kill threshold of 16%. So really, your minions only need to do 84% of the damage. Last but not least, Summon Skeleton. And we like skeletons. You want 5 into Sweeping Strikes, 2 into Unbounding Necromancy, 1 into Grave Walkers, 2 into Necrotic Conviction, 1 into Hollow Walkers, 1 into Shambling Steel, 1 into Dread, and over here, 5 into Unholy Rage, and 1 into Morrow Walkers. Now, what's really cool is right here, I'm not covering it, no, Dread, maximum number of skeletons is cut in half, but you get increased damage and size. This build, we're able to make 9 skeletons, but 11th Hour Games is very nice and they actually round up for us. So since we could make 9, once we take Dread, it actually allows us to make 5 bigger skeletons. Moving over to passives, and this character is level 100. It's level 100. You want 7 into Blood Aura, 8 into Forbidden Knowledge, 5 into Dark Rituals, 6 into Eye of Damnation, 1 into Soul Aegis. Lich, 10 into Apo, this gives you intelligence and mana regen. Now over to Necromancer. Now, what I love and hate about Necromancer is it is one of those passives or passive charts where everything is good. Literally, I need 130 points to make this the way I'd want it, which we don't get that many. You want 8 into Risen Army, 3 into Grave Thorns, 1 into Blood Armor, 10 into Cursed Blood, 5 into Mortal Tether, 1 into Unbound Necromancy, 8 into Aegis Fall, 8 into Unearthed Arms, 3 into Tyrant, 3 into Cling of Life, 5 into Tyrant's Legion, 3 into Empty the Graves, 1 into Disciples of the Necromancy, 1 into Frantic Summons, 5 into River of Bones, and 10 into Heresy. But I also want 10 here, 10 here, and 10 here. So I just need 30 more points. 11th Hour Games, which I guess would be like 143 points. But those are the passives. We've gone through them a few times. You could tweak it a little bit if you want. If you want your minions to do a little more damage, but not have as much life. But I like it how it's balanced right here, because again, almost your minions never die, and they will stay alive during boss fights where they won't get one shot. Moving over to everyone's favorite gear, starting with idols. Now again, this build was created on my Twitch last night. Me and the community went through, created it, tested, and we ended with this amazing final result. But because of that, when we do that, idols and gear are not always perfect. I wouldn't even say they're good. I'd say they're average. I put them in the average category. So if you are really looking for the gear that I would recommend, it is in the link in the build planner below. But just to show you what we're working with that can still clear all content, these are our idols. Health, minion critical strike chance, or necrotic damage, apply mark of death on hit, health, apply mark of death on hit, health, and then here, Mage critical strike chance, less damage taken. I mean, they're not awful, but they are not ultra customized for this build, okay? So those are the idols. Now moving over to gear, there is nothing required. There's no, you got to go get this unique. The build only works if you do this. No, not a heavy gear requirement at all. Again, we created it last night. Our helmet. Minion health intelligence, perfect implicit roll, 60% increased minion damage. Amulet. Most people have this. It's been in the game for a long time. This is almost a perfect roll because it gives you 100% or 99% critical strike multiplier. Catalyst. Minion health, minion damage. Armor. Minion health intelligence. Weapon. Look at this. When was the last time you made a build that had a blue weapon? Because all you need is the two affixes. Increased minion melee damage, and then the implicit increased necrotic minion damage. Ring. Belt. Ring. Relic. Boots. And gloves. So that is the gear. Moving over to the character sheet. Now you've already seen the damage in game and at the training dummy. So where does all this damage come from? We have 84 points into intelligence, 33% move speed. Resistances are okay, but not great. Fire 36, lightning max, cold 41, physical 73, poison 38, necrotic 74, void 69. Okay, none of them are 0. Basically, 4 of them are max and the other aren't very good. Obviously, resistance could be better, but where you get your survivability from this build is your zombies, which are generating lots of ward, and your ward retention is 336%. Armor will do a little bit at 23, but your main is your ward retention. Now, when you're looking at your normal damages, we don't care about any of these because all we care about is minion. So your overall minion damage is 609. Your minion melee, 722. Your minion physical, 709. And your minion necrotic, 926. On top of that, critical strike chance for minions, 16. Minion critical strike multiplier, 329. And your minion to health, 943. Those are some serious numbers. By the way, defenses, endurance is good. Endurance threshold, critical strike avoidance, okay. All right. But again, clear anything in the game with those stats, and the damage is just ridiculous. You still make your zombies. Go get them. It's pretty fun. All right, everyone, that's the build guide. I want to know your opinion on my lazy only minions build. Let me know in the comment section below what I can do to push this even farther, or maybe I missed something. Now, like I always say, I have officially started a Twitch, and most of these builds we create together as an ARPG community. Come up with the concept, build it, look for gear, go through passives, go through skills. It's always a whole lot of fun. Yesterday's stream was 7 hours long. We're working on something right now that we were not able to figure out, so I'm hoping that we're able to conquer it today. First link in the description below if you want to come hang out on that Twitch. Again, it is always a great time. If you haven't had a chance to join the official Action RPG Discord, please do so. We're now over 1,100 members, great conversations every day. The idea is to create a gaming community that could jump from game to game together so you never start the server alone. Link for that Discord is also in the description. I hope you all enjoyed this lazy minions only build. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron?